Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm going to be doing a play and review of Cantaloop Book 1, which is a sort of choose-your-own-adventure, point-and-click video game turned into a book board game experience. And disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Cantaloop is, again, a point-and-click adventure game turned into a tabletop format. This is like games like the Monkey Island series, King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry. I used to play all of those games. Monkey Island was probably my favorite. Also games like Myst or the Telltale games more recently, like the Walking Dead series. And yeah, I've been hearing awesome things about this series. I think they're up to book 3 at this point, and I'm not sure if that's the end or if there's going to be more in the series. But yeah, I've been hearing awesome things about it from my Discord, and I wanted to finally give it a try, so very excited to dig in. And like I do for most of these sort of mystery, spoiler-filled plays, I'm just going to play the first 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 to 20, until I've done a few of the early puzzles, and then I'm going to go off camera to play through the rest, and I'll come back to the video to give my review of the game. So if you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, if you want to experience the game entirely fresh, you can just jump with the timestamps right to the end of the video to the review. But if you don't mind some minor spoilers and you want to see kind of how the game plays and the core mechanics, you can stick around for a bit. The core mechanics are pretty straightforward. You'll get item cards. You can combine them to get little number combinations. Use this little red doohickey to look through at the number combinations and see what you got. Some things are going to let you check off event triggers that will then change up conversations you can have. And yeah, it's about as much as I know. I played through the tutorial, but let's jump into the story. You checked the engines and brake lights twice before you left. Old habits die hard. Even now, you catch yourself scanning the sides of the streets, and you have to remind yourself to breathe. Being outside still feels strange, but it was time. You couldn't just sit there and take it anymore. Your knuckles whiten around the steering wheel of your white Sprinter as a sign comes up on the right. Cantaloop, home of White Industries, population 53,052. You're here. No way back now. In an effort to calm yourself down, you turn up California Dreamin' and roll down a window to breathe in the air. Oh, how you've missed this place. All right, skipping past a bunch of tutorial stuff, I call an old friend. Yeah? Mike, it's Hook. How have you been, pal? No way, you son of a gun. Sid, know who I got on the line? You won't believe this. It's Hook. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Geez, what has it been, 10 years? Well, give or take, yeah. Happy to hear you guys are still together. Say hi to Sid for me. He says hi. Ha, he should see her face. She can't believe it. And honestly, neither can I. Where have you been all these years? Out and about. Switzerland mostly. Switzerland, eh? Yeah, not my favorite place, but the flag is a big plus. I see your jokes haven't improved. Well, it's good to hear your voice. I've often wondered over the years what you might have been doing. It's good to know you're still alive. Thanks, you too. But I'm guessing catching up on old stories isn't the only reason you're calling. I'm afraid not. Well, let me stop you right there. You're calling it a bad time. I'm not even in Cantaloop right now. I'm at the coast of Bali. Sid and I are going on a cruise. Can you believe it? What's that, honey? Hold on. Hook, you still there? Still here. Sid asked whether you're back in Cantaloop. Ain't that something? I told her you'd never be stupid to go back to the scene of the crime, but I'm back in Cantaloop. Oh, yeah. Okay. I spent all this time thinking about how I can get back at White for what he did to me, and the perfect opportunity has finally presented itself. Hook, if you're talking about the ITP, I'm going to steal it from him. Like he stole 10 years of my life, Mike. Oh, I'd love to see that. Sid, don't you think we could? That's what I'm saying. Oh, shut up, you old hag. You have no idea what you're... I'll talk about this later. Hook, sorry, buddy. I think you're on your own with this one. Need to spend some quality time with the family for a change. Plus, I've gotten old. You should see my crow's feet. I don't think I'd be of much help anymore. That's okay. Can you help me find a crew? I need at least 2 people. Sorry, buddy. I'd love to help you out, but ever since White became, the town's guardian... Oh, they want to make him mayor, right? I heard. Yeah, well, ever since he's in charge, all the good ones have left Cantaloop. Probably because of you, too. There must be someone, Mike. I can make anything work. Just give me some names. I'll try. Who do you need? A hacker and a woman in red. Hacker and a woman in red, he says. Sid's also thinking. Well, you could always use a civilian as a woman in red. A civilian? Sure, heard of Kalkov? He pulled off a huge heist over in Biarritz last year with no professionals on the job. Maybe you can find someone who could use the money. I'll think about it, thanks. What? No, that'd be stupid. He's not gonna... You tell him. Fine, I'll tell him. Hook, how desperately do you need a hacker? Very. Well, there's this kid. They call him Fly. He's good. Sid says he's better than Jimmy the Screw. I think he may be your only option. He's doing time. They caught him on something minor, something to do with his mom's taxes, I think. But he's good. He just needs a little guidance. Okay, thanks. I'll pay him a visit first thing. Good. Listen, pal, it's been good hearing your voice. If you're ever stuck, give me a call, yeah? Can't believe I'm missing the biggest heist of my life because I'm on holiday in Bali. You got it, old man. Enjoy the sun. The line clicks and you park in front of the old lighthouse. This will be your base of operations for the time being. You carry a few belongings upstairs and sit down on your mattress. White mansion towers in the distance. You take a deep breath, then you get up. It's time. Now just checking that I have everything. I have A1 checked off. Well, I'm doing it over here so I can give the game to somebody else. And I've got a magnifying glass and a cell phone. The magnifying glass can only be used to inspect other items. Let's get to our first page. All right, so here we go. Here's what a page looks like. And again, I haven't done any of this before. So things like this that just have a 4-digit letter number code, I can just freely look at on the other page to see what they say. But then these other things I need to combine with an item. So I could try to use my magnifying glass to look at the island off in the distance. Seems like a dumb idea. Or one that makes a bit more sense, try my magnifying glass to check out this busted lighthouse light. But for now, let's check out M1E5 and M1R2. And yeah, not sure how well these are going to show up on screen. Tea bags. These were here when I arrived, and they're way past their expiration date. Dude, I didn't even know they made tea back then. But I'll take some, sure. So I cross off D8, and I take card 21, so just to show you they have little dividers for all the cards, and then an area to save all your stuff here. How does Moses make his tea? He brews it. Ha ha ha. I need to tell that one to Mike next time I talk to him. Okay. I can already tell this game is going to go in that Monkey Island, old school point and click, crazy combinations of items direction, because I got tea bags. Let's check out M1R2. Lighthouse. This will be my base of operations for now. It's seen better times, true, but hey, at least the calendar's up to date. All right, and then let's check out this. So how it works when you combine things is you do the top arrow pointing letter number first, so I3. Then the bottom one next, P5. And I put that together into I3P5 and find that on the page. Inspect lamp. I leave it on most of the time. It's so hot that I use it to dry my shirts. I know that it said inspect lamp, so the entries will kind of confirm that you are doing what you thought you were doing, so you don't accidentally look at the wrong thing. I guess I could also inspect the tea bags. Why not? M1IO. For item combinations, instead of looking at a page, you look at this little fold-out thing. Yeah, it says the label is faded, but they smell like lemon. Anyway, I don't think there's much going on here. Let's go on down to page 2. All right. So I've got a barrel or something I can go to. I can check out my vehicle. I can inspect this thing about Alice. Maybe she can be my woman in red. God, this looks like bricks. And then, what does that point? Oh, I guess that's pointing at the wooden door. Okay. So let's check the items first. And actually, I'm just not going to show the red stuff. I'll just read it because the pictures are more interesting. Trash. Searching through trash? Of course, why wouldn't I? Not like the only difference between me and a hobo is that I actually keep the really useless stuff. That was nothing. Let's check out our vehicle. Yeah, the old van. We've been through a lot together. Germany, mostly. All right, let's close-up inspect a few things because so far I'm already trapped. So have a look at the bricks. D6IO. Oh, I'm dumb. That was pointing at the mailbox. Hey, look at that. A postcard. Jeez, it's so old it almost falls apart. Gotta be careful with that one. I get to cross off H2. Oh, and I get the postcard. Now I can use it to travel to any location, but some of them are going to be locked at first until I hear about it. Okay, here we go. So I can't go to the jazz bar, the archive, or Fly's apartment yet. But I could go to the lighthouse I'm currently at, or the church, or the prison. All right, we'll probably go to the prison in a second. I said I would make that my first stop, but let's investigate the door and the poster. All right, the door says, looks like a door from a bathroom stall. A graffiti tag says, hey, put that back in your pants. Okay. And the poster. It's a poster for the Blue Mamba, a jazz club here in town. Alice and the Cornerstones are playing there. Jazz singer, huh? She might be the ideal candidate for my woman in red. And I got the D3 trigger. And yeah, I don't see any obvious, combinations yet with tea bags or my cell phone. So let's travel to the prison. And I get the feeling I'm not going to be able to go very far. So I've got a guard here. I can check out. Oh, this is showing me what the uniform looks like. Looks like I'm probably going to dress as a prison guard later. I guess that's talking to the guy, right? And that's interacting with the metal detector. Oh, but I can freely look in the locker. I guess he's not going to care, and go to location 4. Let's check out that locker. This is where I keep all my stuff before I go in. Well, that wasn't useful. Now let's try inspecting each thing just to find out what's going on with it. Oh, there is a trigger for the metal detector that I don't have yet. The guard is waving me over. I should probably talk to him before I walk in. Now looking at the poster, a poster displaying a prison guard's correct attire, an ochre shirt, dark green pants, and a badge. And I cross off J9. So I guess if I get those things or get a locker with clothes, I know how to dress. And let's see if we can have a conversation. Talk to guard. Go to scene L. Cool. I'm here to see Fly. Good morning, sir. Please put your belongings in one of the lockers. You can't bring anything inside. No keys, coins, weapons, batteries, cell phones, nothing. Please note that you will be frisked by a member of our staff, and then you will go through a metal detector. Smuggling in contraband is an illegal act and will have consequences. Do you understand? Yep, got it. I'll just put my stuff in here. Thank you for your understanding. Okay, and this part here just clarifies that I can only use my magnifying glass, and if I get any items in the prison, I can't bring those out. So it's kind of like compartmentalizing my inventory into 2 spots. Although, you know, before I do that, let's check out location 4, now that I know I can go to location 5 when I want. A lot of things to investigate. Trash, dumpster, wall, and barred window. This doesn't look very promising at all. All right, well, let's go left to right. Some thick bars on this window. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. Too bad these containers aren't stackable. They probably considered this when they bought them. All right, looking in the trash can. Hey, that looks useful. Oh, I actually found something. I found a box of cereal. Red herrings, still half full. Someone must have really hated these. Okay. Oh, it says there's a toy inside. That's good to think about. Remember, I'm outside of the prison right now, so I can freely interact with that. All right, and let's check out this dumpster. It smells like a bunch of cats were in here and died. Hey, wait, there's something shiny sticking out of the back, but I can't reach it. I don't really have anything that can let me reach things yet, but let's inspect my cereal. See if I can get that toy. The box says toy inside. I wonder if it's still in there. Well, clearly I gotta do something else before I can get it. I think I'm gonna fish it out with tea bags. Okay, with that, let's go into the prison. All right. Oh my gosh, we got so many rooms to go into. I mean, hey, they definitely got the feeling of these games in here. Let's check out I1M4. This is the air conditioning. All right, let's get some air in. Whew, that's better. My brain was getting a little hot there. Now I can focus and do something smart for a change. Okay, now check out this arrow. That takes me to the visiting area, and I go to scene C. Oh, this is meeting with Fly. You enter the visiting area and find your seat opposite Jeremiah Fly King, sipping water from a paper cup. The man's eyes narrow. When you don't say anything, the hacker breaks his silence. You're not my mother. What gave it away? My mom has better taste in clothing. Haven't you heard? Beanies are in this year. Well, then I'm just glad that I'm locked up in here. What can I do for you? You're the one they call Fly. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I used to never leave the net, so some folks started calling me that, and it caught on. Or because I'm always knee-deep in shit, depending on who you ask. It's about my hearing. Well, I ain't no doctor, but I'd say your hearing's fine. No, kid, I was asking an old friend of mine for Cantaloop's best hacker, and your name came up, so consider this a job interview. A job interview. In case you didn't notice, I'm currently taking a break from the job market. Well, these sorts of problems tend to present themselves if you do what I do. Nothing that couldn't be solved with a little wit. Yeah, well, good luck. The guards won't even let me near a computer. Oh, I meant I'd get you out first, of course. Right, you got like friends in high places or something? Quite the opposite, actually. Does the name Oz Carpenter ring a bell? Yeah, I heard the name. Big-time con artist and thief. He died, right? He's just been in hiding for a couple years. But he's back and he's looking for a crew. Wait, you? You're Hook in the flesh? Well, this day took a surprising turn. I need to know if you're as good as they say you are. Well, what are we talking about? Bank? Casino? Private property? Private? Sure, I can pull that off. Well, you don't know which property it is yet. You utter the words White Mansion and Fly's jaw drops. Oh, okay. Damn, you're going after the ITP? Listen, if you can't do it, that's fine. It was good meeting you. The water's on me, just... No, I can do it. When do we start? Give me a couple of hours to figure out how to get you out of here and to find another crew member. Know anything about the prison that might help? Yeah, sure, let me think. Well, you know, there's guards, cameras, the usual. Maybe you could start by getting the blueprints for the prison. That'd give you a good idea where you can move around freely. Blueprints, got it. What else? The guards here change like every week or so. You could probably disguise yourself as one and no one would even notice. No, how are we going to do that? Thing is, best time to get me out would be during the shift change when I'm in my cell. If I get my cell open somehow and you could open the main doors on the second floor, I don't know how, man, that'll be really tough. The main doors can only be open from the outside with a key card. We could probably figure that out somehow. I could probably swipe a card from one of the guards. So the cell doors are the problem. Yeah, they just updated their security system. The warden has to green light the opening of the cells from his computer, and I don't think you know how to hack into a computer, do you? I almost won a game of Minesweeper once. That's pretty good, right? I'll need to access it somehow. Maybe we could get a transmitter set up or something. Okay, yeah, can you go to my flat and pick that up? I hid it in the bathroom, so I don't think the police found it. The address is 205 Mason Street, apartment 1406. Transmitter, got it. What do I do with it once I have it? You're gonna need to install it on the warden's computer. Have you ever installed anything before? I installed MacKeeper once. Never mind, should be plug and play anyways. Just plug it into the USB, should work. But now here's the tricky part. I'm gonna need a cell phone so I can access the transmitter. It's gonna be difficult getting one of those in here. They frisked me at the entrance. Yeah, they'll take the transmitter too. You'll have to find another way in. And then you'll need to find a way to get me that cell phone. Okay, got it. Anything else? Phew, I mean, it's gonna be hell walking around without being seen. How big is the guard staff here? What do you mean? Does everyone know each other? Do you think I'd be able to move around freely if I was dressed up as a guard? You could try. It would certainly make things easier once you get upstairs. If you ever get upstairs. You'll need a code for the elevator, but don't worry, I can take care of the code for you. You'll be hearing from me. Sounds good. Anything else? Yeah, good luck. Thanks, kid, but I don't believe in luck. All right, and we get B4. I was figuring I'd play until I solved like one or two inventory puzzles, but I forgot how deep these games often go by giving you a bunch of stuff. Let's try checking out this. What is that, like a loose floorboard? Locked, naturally. Oh, I keep on forgetting that I'm looking at the points. If that's the door it's pointing to. Come on, Mike. All right, let's check the elevator. It's protected by a keypad. I'll need a 4-digit code. I shouldn't enter any codes until I'm sure I got the right one. I don't want to trip any alarms. By the way, I'm getting tons of checks for things. Like that just said that if I had 2 other codes checked off, then I would have read something else. And it also had me check off a letter number combo J1. I'm not saying all that stuff because it's not going to make much sense while you're just looking at the screen. Okay, let's check out a few more rooms, see if we can find something. What the heck? Oh, this must be like the warden's office where they talked about putting the USB in, right? Okay, checking the time. The clock is stopped. Great. All right, let's check this horse statue. I'd talk to it, but I think it's a little hoarse. Oh my God, the puns. We'll save the kid for last if I'm going to go to another conversation. I used to work in a keyboard factory, but they fired me. Apparently, I didn't put in enough shifts. Oh man, this is great. I love that the narrator has a personality, and we'll check out this safe. Oh, interesting. This one had a different result because I had looked at the elevator. Locked, of course. Another 4-digit code? Can't they trust people not to touch their stuff? That's twice in a row now. Twice, as if that's the answer to life, the universe, and everything in here. Twice. Okay, now let's talk to you. Like, is this the warden's kid? What's he doing? The girl is fixated on her phone, which you don't understand because the only app you're aware of is the video of a snake running into walls over and over again. You don't get kids. They make you nervous. Unsure how to get her attention, you nudge the girl with your foot. Hey, what is your problem? Hi, little girl. I'm Hook. What's your name? You can't kick me. I'm the warden's daughter. Get your hand out of my face. Right. Just leave me alone, okay? In a desperate attempt to connect with her, you bring up the only thing you know about children. It's diapers, right? What diapers, dude? I'm 9. Oh, okay, sorry. What are you watching on your cell phone? A movie? Fortnite? Oh, is that like Minesweeper? I'm really good at that. Dude, I don't know. Can you just get lost? Yeah, definitely. So, you don't happen to know your dad's 4 favorite numbers, do you? Huh? Or, say I wanted to get your dad a present for his birthday. When would that be? Well, I don't know. Ask him. I'd also take his PIN code or the last 4 digits of his SSN. Can you just shut up for a sec? I'm kind of in the middle of something. Yeah, sure. Take your time. Hey, one more thing, though. I really need to call my divorce attorney. Think I could have your phone for just a sec? It's local, I promise. What? No, go away. I ain't giving you my phone, creep. It's urgent, though. We're supposed to play pool later. Whatever. All right, yeah, got it. I'll just send him one of those electronic emails or something. Now, there are some other ways this conversation could go if I had some things checked off, but understandably, I have not found any of these yet. All right, let's try out this last door. I'm in the unisex bathroom. All right. Let's check out the sink first. My hands are clean, thanks. Highly illuminating stuff. All right, let's inspect what we got. Hand dryer, trash, a vent in the ceiling. Although I don't have any items and wouldn't have any items, and one of the stalls. It's barely drying anymore. Let's see, use paper towels, an apple core, and this is interesting. There's a file under here with a gun and the key to the cells. We're saved. Although, no, wait, on closer inspection, turns out it's just a used condom. I was about to say. Poop jokes aren't my favorite, but they're a solid number 2. Groan, groan, groan. A ventilation shaft. Okay. Cool. Well, let's see. We can still go to the National... Oh, no, we can't go to the National Archive. We can go to the church or back to the lighthouse. Is that really it? Wow. All right, let's go to the church. Okay. We can inspect the holy water, a sign, and is that like a collection box? Oh, it says it's a candle vendor. One can buy candles here. I don't think anyone's going to miss one coin. Cross off F5 and take card 6. Coin from 1964. Okay, and if I have some things, I can read things. I don't have any of those. But hey, let's inspect it. Heads or tails? You flip the coin. Heads, I knew it. What did you expect to happen? I don't know, man. I just want to cover all my bases, game. Okay, and the sign. According to the sign, it's 194 steps to the top. Okay, let's check out the holy water. It says freshly refilled. And man, I had a whole bunch of optional things there that I didn't trigger. Weird. I don't know, let's go to 20. We are nearly out of options. What's DHJ4? Hey, this brick is loose. Well, after about 15 minutes of push and pull, it is. Heavy. I can already feel my body getting stronger. Yeah, I do not have A9. I know it's dumb, but I want to be thorough. I think I'll just hold on to this until I know what to do with it. Oh, and what's that? It's a magnet. Yeah, that might be useful. Don't know for what exactly, but you never know. For lifting heavy metallic objects. This is probably dumb, but maybe you can get the toy out of the cereal. So what you do when you want to check items together is you take the lower numbered item, so the magnet is a 15 and the cereal is a 23, put the lower one to the left, and then you check the inventory combo. In this case, there is no combo for those two, so I guess we don't do anything with that. But I can still inspect it. I can't turn it on. It's never off. Okay. And let's check some final things. This is pointing at what? The floor? Oh, the handrail. The ultimate skateboarding challenge. Yeah, right. And then looking down at that building, I guess. Nice view. Oh, wait, I forgot that I had, from the poster, unlocked D3, so I can go to the jazz bar. Oh, and I can also go to the National Archive. I think that was from me finding out that I wanted the blueprints, maybe? Well, let's go to the bar first and meet the woman in red. Or maybe I won't meet her, because that bouncer doesn't look very nice. So I can examine the graffiti, the boat, look up at the moon, look at the sign, and talk to the dude. All right, checking the graffiti. Ay caramba, indeed. Harbor area. I hear they make portholes round so that when you open one, a wave won't hit you square in the face. Ugh. Neon sign. This is the Blue Mamba, the only and therefore hottest jazz club in town. And I guess I'll examine the moon. Huh, that's weird. All of a sudden it's night. Seems like the designer of this game is a complete idiot. That's funny. Yeah, because every time you go to a new location, things are going to change. All right, and let's talk to this guy. I'm sure he'll say we need something to get in. Talk to bouncer. Hey, you. Want a drink? Cross off E2. Take card 24. What? This color is highly suspicious. I won't go near it. Sure. What's in this? It's so blue. Hell if I know. Just take it and drink it. I think I'm going to pass. Speaking of, would you let me through? I need to get inside. Mm-hmm. Can I see your ID? Well, I hope so. They don't make them in Braille. That's funny, but I ain't letting you in without ID, funny boy. I don't have any. My dog must have ate it. Then you're not getting in. But why even give out cocktails if you don't let people in? Dunno. I just follow orders. Okay, well, how about I tell you a joke, and if I make you laugh, you let me in. Forget it. No one gets past me. Oh, come on. It'll be fun. Listen, a dog, a duck, and a priest walk into a bar? Sounds like that bar needs a better bouncer. Yeah, okay. How about this one? I would never let in a duck. Crapping all over the place, quacking as if they'd being chased by the devil himself. Them dumb birds, I tell you. Right, yeah, got it. Okay, never mind. Maybe there's some other way I could make you change your mind. Like, say, how does one candy bar wrapper and a handful of multicolored lint sound to you? Boss said if I want to keep my job, I don't take no bribes. Not even if it's nice lint like what you got there. You a collector? Collector of what, lint? It's fine, I got a couple jars at home too. Do you dye yours ever? I fill up about 2 jars a year, belly button grown mostly, but I ain't picky about which end I get them from, if you know what I mean. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard, and you are now my favorite person in the world. That's so? I don't think much of it, really. I just like collecting things. Keeps me busy. Movie tickets, soda cans, toenail clippings, sugar packets, trading cards, you name it, I collect it. Can't get enough of all that. Yeah, well, you know what I can never get enough of? The satisfaction of helping out a friend. Those smiles you never forget. Like, I'd be grinning from ear to ear if you'd let me in, for example. Trying to play smart with me, eh? You ain't getting nowhere. I'll guard the store with my life if I have to. But no one has ever tried to enter this place since I got here. It's not like this is the hottest place in town. Doesn't your boss need customers to run the joint? I don't make the rules, kiddo. Boss man got it all figured out. All right, see you later. What collector's stuff do I have? Maybe he collects tea bags? Oh yeah, that's like really old, right? Maybe he'll like that. You approach the bouncer, waving the tea bags with a big smile, but he just crosses his arms and shakes his head. Guess not. How about a coin collector? Oh, cross off F4. Oh man, it had a whole conversation that said it's not really worth anything. Oh well. Well, I haven't actually solved a single clue-based thing yet, but I still have one more location I can go to, right? The National Archive. But I'm going to stop the playthrough there. I think even though I haven't actually solved anything yet or made any combinations that worked yet, you kind of have a feel for the game, how it's really trying to emulate those old point-and-click games. For better or worse, I think it's going to depend a ton on how well you like those games. But I will be back in a second, although potentially days or weeks for me, when I finish the game to give you my review. So see you in just a sec. All right, here we go. I am back, and I beat the entire game, or at least part one, because there are 3 parts. I don't know if that's the end of the trilogy or not. But yeah, this took me about 5 hours. And looking up prices for this one, the MSRP was $30, and then I saw it in some places for lower, which is pretty good for these kind of games. If you compare the price of this sort of like one-off experience game to something else, like an infinitely replayable game, it's of course not going to look that great. But you can get like a set of 3 unlock scenarios for $30. That's usually about 3 hours of content. Some other ones are shorter than that. So I think 5 hours for 30 is pretty good. And I will note that I didn't use the little checkoff card. I'm also assuming you can probably print this out somewhere. So everything in the game is totally undisturbed, and I could easily pass it on to somebody else, which of course increases the value. So value-wise, comparing to other mystery or narrative experience games, I think Cantaloop is great so far. I also found the story and interaction with NPCs quite humorous. There were a lot of hidden interactions, like when you would talk to people, there would be ways to kind of like hear things from them that were unexpected. And these were often things that didn't lead to the direct conclusion of whatever you were interacting with them for. So it just had a lot of Easter eggs and fun things to be discovered, including some Easter egg cards. I only got 2 of them, these achievement cards for trying out something goofy, but just skimming through the deck, I saw there were a bunch more. So this is a game that will reward you trying silly stuff and finding new and exciting things, which is very much in line with these types of adventure games. And I gotta say, by the way, after playing the entire thing, man, if they were trying to recreate those point-and-click adventures in a book form with cards, they did such an amazing job. I mean, this felt just like those classic games of old, Grim Fandango, Leisure Suit Larry, all that kind of stuff. It was so much fun. Now, I will say the jokes often leaned into, like, the puns, as you saw in the playthrough part, if you watched that. They definitely leaned in a silly direction, but I appreciated that. Also, I was worried that the game would have inappropriate content, like if I wanted to show this to my kids, but it really didn't. I think there may be like 2 minor cuss words in the entire thing, and like a few kind of vague references to sexual content. But yeah, nothing in my playthrough was, Leisure Suit Larry level, of course, or even like a little bit risque. I would say this game is very much like PG-13 or lower. I'd be comfortable showing it to my kids and playing through it with them. Now, a big one, how was the puzzle design? How was the, classic point-and-click adventure, try inventory with every kind of thing system? I think it was great. There were a couple puzzles where things sort of required me to do stuff in an unexpected way that definitely threw me for a loop. But all the rest, even when I had to use a hint and like figure out, okay, this is the way you're supposed to use that item, it never felt like unfair or like crazy level like some of those point-and-click games used to be. Everything made pretty good logical sense. That is not to say that I didn't get lost and confused several times. I absolutely did. But the game has a good hint system. Let's show that for a second. How it works, and it is super smooth, is pretty much everything you do will have you check off one of those boxes. That includes getting key items, interacting with items in certain ways. And all you would have to do is check what the last box you checked was, and then if you would go to the hint for the next box, the first hint will tell you just, hey, here's the next thing you're trying to do, which is very nice because sometimes I just didn't know which location to go to for the next step, so that would put me in the right direction. And then they would have tip 1 and 2 to kind of give you a few more things. I will say a couple of times, tip 1 and 2 still felt vague to me, and I had to just look up the solution straight up, which is always kind of a bummer. But that was a very rare occurrence. Often just this first kind of like, hey, go in this direction was sufficient. But when not, almost every time the tips helped me get along the way. I would say, I guess, if you didn't use any hints whatsoever, the game could be more like a 7 to 10 hour thing as you just tried out things a bit more blindly. And if you use tips constantly and didn't even try to engage in the investigative struggle, then the game might only be 3 hours long. So some of that is going to be based on your tolerance for being lost and trying to figure out what you need to do. But yeah, I adored Cantaloop #1. I mean, the best compliment I can give is that I am immediately going to try to get review copies, or I'll just buy them if I can't get review copies of Cantaloop Part 2 and 3 because I want to see the end of the story. I guess that is another caveat to this one. The story very much just ends on a midpoint. You recruit the people that were mentioned. It's not much of a spoiler to say that, but you still haven't found out a ton of the backstory of like why your character is doing what he's doing. You still have not accomplished much yet. Like, it's just the very first part in this longer narrative. So if you want to get this and you don't plan to get the other ones, I can't really see that being a fully engaging and satisfying experience because you're not really getting the full like value and breadth of what you're paying for. But yes, a huge recommend for Cantaloop if you are a point-and-click adventure fan or mystery fan or choose-your-own-adventure fan or narrative fan or any of that kind of stuff. This is as good as the people on the Discord said, and I'm so glad that they recommended it to me. So thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Steve Wren, KCW, Andrew R., and Chris C. We'll see you at the next stop.